Good morning. All audio should be functioning, I think. Yep, it is. Good morning, everyone. I'm doing another quick, per usual, quick 30-minute Enviro sketch. So let's set that 30-minute timer. There we go. I have an idea in my head for what I want, so I'm just gonna go for it and start sketching this thing out. I want like a street that goes through town here. I think I may have forgotten to reset my sketching settings. I draw on a Huion, which uses like the WinTab drivers, but then there's also, oh no, it's good, it's working. Then there's also my Surface, which the Surface creates a bit of an issue because it uses the Windows Ink drivers, and Krita doesn't like having all those different settings. I have this, it's like a top-down 3-point perspective thing. We'll see what I can get done in this time. Yeah, I was sleep deprived the past 2 days, so I did not stream. But on Monday I did. I stayed up real late, way too late Monday night, for the reason of finishing a commission. And my gosh, was that a mistake. I was so tired. I went to bed at 2:30 a.m. and woke up at 5:30 a.m. Don't ever do that. It just ruins everything in terms of like mental acuity. I just want to value stamp this right now. Yeah, this is good. I feel like these could be taller and wider. I have no idea if this is going to turn out yet. We're just going to see. Real quick sketch. I want it to be like night, so let's add in some dark edges. Good morning, everyone. I know. I do need to get good sleep. I neglected to. Alright. Let's do like a very soft gray for the snow. I don't know if this is going to turn out yet, guys, so be patient. Be patient with this process. It's going to take a little bit, I think. As environments do, they almost always take patience. The values are working though. The values are doing their job, which is actually fantastic. Yeah, this is a very important part of the drawing process, the color blocking, because it gets the values in. And I often neglect it and just try to go straight to line art like I just did, when I should be doing something like this. Yeah, this is actually so much better. There we go. Now we have the basis. We need something lighter right there. We have the basis of our little city scene. 3-point perspective city scene. With the snowy roofs. I do also want to get like a weird sort of Winterhold vibe. I don't know if that's going to be possible though. Yeah, wait, this is kind of working. This is working. This is kind of working. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so parts are still too bright. So I'm gonna make another layer, make it a multiply layer. Multiply, what multiply does is it essentially just makes it a darker color. And I'm gonna go in there with an airsoft brush and just darken stuff. So some people asked me last time, do I ever use layers? Because I think you guys noticed I was drawing just on the background layer. I'll use layers for environments when I do stuff like this, because that's when it gets like actually really important. It's like you want to fade stuff out like so. And mix colors. And also get the foreground, background, all that stuff. Alright, let's clean up this here. This is gonna be slightly darker than the front. And then this. So this is a roof here, but it's like almost kind of darker because it's closer. And then the snow is going up to like the edges of the town. This is another roof here. We can be a little more creative with the style of the roofs. Give it some nice blocking. And then also some background maybe? Like a snowy mountain background over here. I think it needs a little more blue, honestly. Or the snow's gonna reflect whatever light is around it. So we have, what I'm making is I'm making a little tiny snow city scene that is like top-down view. It's a little bit difficult right now because I'm still figuring out the composition. But it should start coming together here soon. Yeah. There we go. I think I'm gonna have to turn this to a different color too, because right now it's just brown and I don't want it to be, I mean it's blue, I want it to be browner. Like almost like a soft, honestly I'm gonna do that right now. Let's collapse this. So this is another thing you'll notice that I do frequently is I'll take all my layers and I'll collapse them. So then I can go in and instead of having a bunch of different layers, I'll then just like adjustment layers on top of other layers, which can get really messy real quick. I'll just go in there and collapse them. And then I'll just adjust it from that. But this could get a little funky because I always forget that Krita doesn't have per color adjustment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select by color and I'm going to change it to a higher threshold. Yeah, so it's selecting everything but the windows. Adjust, color balance. And then what we can do is we want to make it a little bit more of like a warm blue, if that's a term, warm blue. I don't know if you can have, I guess you can have a warm blue. Now that's too red though. We almost want it like, that's too yellow. I almost want to desaturate it. Like do that and then desaturate this. This is why painting is hard, because I rely so much on like these filters that it becomes very difficult to like just paint it in. There we go. Ha ha ha! It looks a little better now. Oh yeah, it does. But now our values collapsed a little bit, so we got to go in there and fix that. Yeah. Is that looking a little better? I mean, it's still messy, but it's getting us the necessary basis to start blocking and stuff. Like the finer details. Like so. How's everyone doing this morning? It's like a Wednesday. No, it's a Thursday. Dude, I'm telling you, this sleep deprivation just got me like time traveling. Let's make a new layer so it doesn't mess with the other stuff. Add a glow. And then I'm focused on this. It's using more of my brain power. It's really just 3D modeling in your head. Like that's really what this becomes. It just becomes 3D modeling in your head at a certain point. I'm doing good actually. I'm less tired than I was yesterday. I was incredibly tired yesterday. And the day before, especially the day before. Oh my gosh. But I'm doing good today. It's very strange when you don't get enough sleep, because for me, I noticeably feel so much dumber. Like at least 40 IQ points dumber. People will ask me my opinions on stuff and I will not be able to articulate my opinions. Whereas normally I can. Which is one of the reasons I didn't live stream, is because I was like, I feel so dumb. I don't think I can draw and talk at the same time. Whereas normally, like, that's something I can do pretty easily. Not when I'm tired, though. Not when I'm tired. I'm gonna make these rounded. And then go in there with maybe like a grate. Yeah, some sort of grate. We can get a little funky with the designs. It's looking a little better. How much time do we have? This is currently 15 minutes in. That's about right. I feel like environment pieces always just take a little bit longer than quick sketches. I'm also gonna put some yellow in there. Yeah. It's just so strange though, like how much our brain relies upon sleep in order to get like an adequate amount of ability. I don't know if I said that right. As you can tell, I'm still probably a little tired. I'm talking way less than I normally do as well. That's just kind of how it goes. I'm also live streaming later. I feel like I'm sharper like immediately in the morning. This morning I languished in bed far too long. The benefits and not so benefits of working at home, am I right? The nice thing about paintings like this also is you don't necessarily need to follow all the rules. You can make some parts of it a little bit sketchier. So like, this is our roof, right? We can just suggest the roof and then also get this on there. Also, some on the snow here. Oh my gosh, I do have forgotten coffee. Thank you so much. Bro. Every time. I always forget. I'm gonna need a reminder every time I live stream. Because I just forget. Thank you. That's actually crazy. How did you know? You just know my habits. That is crazy. I was talking with a friend the other day, art friend, about art style, and I've connected with some people on LinkedIn, some like artists, and I was like, because I had a LinkedIn post that blew up. It was kind of weird. I just had a huge blow. Like 500,000 people saw it, and I had a bunch of concept artists reach out to connect with me. And one lady was like, "I'm a concept artist. I really like what you had to say. Was wondering if we could connect." And I saw she shared some connections with me. I was like, "Sure, yeah." And then I looked at her portfolio, and it was like a fantasy portfolio. I was like, "I really like your portfolio," because I did. It was like really well done. It's like D&D level. D&D cover level. And then she replied, "I like your portfolio too. It's so diverse." And in my head, I'm thinking like, "Oh boy, yep, I know it is. I am fully aware it is a very diverse portfolio." I was talking with my art friend the other day about, yeah, is a diverse portfolio even good? Is it good to have a diverse portfolio? Because like you don't become known for one thing. Like Bryce Coe, he's very much so known for his inked drawings, or like trying to think of other artists. Peter Hahn is known for his inked drawings as well. Blue Flay, what's his name? Mark Brunet. He's known for his like wonderfully detailed sketches. All sorts of artists, and I'm thinking like, dude, I literally have zero consistency across my art style except for maybe in the environments. I don't know if that's a good thing because like you guys follow me, but I don't know if you follow me for my consistent art style because I don't know if I do have a consistent art style. I was thinking about that. I was like, I'm an art director. I should probably get an art direction to my work versus posting anything I think looks cool, which it does. But like, you look at my portfolio and it's pixel art, oil paintings, so many things, and like I get work in that stuff, but it's not. I'm not specialized. I'm a jack of all trades. Yeah, it depends on the situation for sure. How's that looking? Honestly, it's looking okay, but the windows look a little too big. I'm gonna collapse this all again. I want this to be smaller. Like so. I learned an interesting trick from Craig Mullins, of all people, of how you can get away with painting less by just copy pasting stuff like Windows. So I think that is what I'm gonna do once I finish painting these ones, because that saves a lot of time. The first work I ever did for my studio that I'm now working at was that environment painting of the planet. And I remember I just spent 2 days on it working like probably the biggest flow state I ever had because I was so determined. I was like I was contracted out initially because my boss wanted to see if I could do a really good job. And dude, I focused so hard those first 2 days. I was like, I'm getting this job. I do not care if it affects my sleep. I think I worked a little bit longer than I normally did just to crank it out. And I got the job, but now I've slowed down a tad as happens. The door is off, isn't it? We can probably just push it out a little bit. But we are going to need to move this window piece over. It's looking okay. Good morning, everybody. I've been playing Skyrim recently, but I've modded it to the yin yang, so it's like beautiful. I modded it so there's this like Winterhold mod. That's why I'm making this painting. That is the inspiration. So Winterhold, walking around this modded Winterhold yesterday, and I was like, damn bro, I want to paint this. So if you don't know, Winterhold is a city in Skyrim at the northeastern point, and it's home to the College of Winterhold. So the college has this beautiful architecture, but the actual town itself in Skyrim is another one of those like copy paste ugly towns. But in the lore of Skyrim, it's supposed to be this beautiful city that fell into the ocean. So what the mod does is it takes that city and it updates it with new assets. So it actually looks like this beautiful mage city, but it's like crumbled and falling off a cliff. And it's in the snow. So that's what I felt inspired by this morning. Which can definitely help with live streams, because I'll feel a lot more motivated to live stream if I have a good idea for what I want to paint. Like this. Although, I feel like this should go down all the way. Like so. And then we can add some snow. Is that looking like snow? It's looking hella messy is what it's looking like. It's also not very in perspective. It's just kind of flat. I also love Skyrim. Apparently they're releasing a new Oblivion like next week, but it's the Oblivion remaster. So it's not even like a new game. It's just like they're taking Skyblivion, getting a studio to make it, and charging probably $70 for it, which will be something. At least we'll have a new Elder Scrolls game to play, am I right? Alright, now the trick. I should probably No, we don't have as much time. There we go. Little trick. And then we'll change the perspective on this. Maybe move it down a little bit. Squish it. Yeah, let's squish it. And then let's move this roof to right here. If it wants to paint, please paint. Is that on eraser mode or what? I don't know what's going on. It's not letting me draw at all. Oh, it's because I have a little tiny bit selected. That's why. I did it again. I know. So true. I'm like, Todd Howard, why? Why you gotta do this to us? It's crazy because Bethesda used to be the magnum opus of game studios, in my opinion at least. But they've just spent so long on the same 3 games. This needs to be straightened out. There we go. I'm getting close and I'm not close to finishing the painting, unfortunately. I also think I really need to push this a little bit. Hold on. Ah! Merge with layer below. Let's select all this. Plus a little bit of that. Oh. Tools. Please do your job. And then we'll do perspective again. I don't know how entertaining it is for me to explain the process. I think you guys just want to see a cool picture made. Yeah. It's because they invest so much into the IPs that it gets really scary for those big studios to risk. Well, I wouldn't say scary for the studios. I would say scary for the investors for them to risk a new IP. Because they just want their money back. Unless if you're Rockstar, then you can get rid of Nathan Drake and call it good. Rockstar's in a league of their own, though. I don't know how they make games. They don't sleep. Rockstar Games literally doesn't sleep. Something just fell off my desk and I have no idea what it is. I've been reading a book about game dev and literally they were like, yeah, Rockstar Games does not sleep. They don't rest. Which is crazy. Are my values too much? I feel like they might be struggling a bit. What we can do is make it a little bit. The book? What's the book? The book. Did I mention a book? Maybe I did mention a book. I'm blanking now. The book on my website? The Quest journal? I did make a little journal on my website if you want a Quest journal. fpap.com/shop. Or the books in the background. Oh, yeah, it's Blood, Sweat, Pixels. Sorry, you said book and I don't know why my brain blanked. I'm so, like I said, I'm sleep deprived still. I'm still recovering from my sleep deprivation, which don't do it. It's really bad for your brain. Also, the timer's probably going to go off very soon, unfortunately. I might add another 10 minutes just because I'm enjoying this painting so much. Yeah. Let's add another 10 minutes just to see how far we can get. Yeah, true. I also am listening to it as an audiobook, so when I hear book, I think of like physical book. But like audiobook is like a piece of software, I guess. It's an audio file. There we go. I want to get I'm gonna copy paste this right here. Is it on a separate layer? No. And then we're gonna drag this over here. This perspective. Maybe make it a little bit wider. I know, it's actually starting to look pretty decent. I'm getting excited. Hell yeah. Of course, we have to add some stuff like the side of this door. Of course. I told you I had an idea when I started. It is looking significantly better from what it was at first. That'll work for now. I'm going to also do this. Oh wait, oopsie. Oopsie. I should use what's it called? What is this called? The masking tool more. The masking tool is so important and I neglect it. Needs to be lighter. Like this. Did anyone see the Minecraft movie? I watched it and I was like, this is peak cinema. Not the movie, like the cinema going experience. So many 12-year-olds just yelling chicken jockey. I was like, this game came out in 2011. I was 11 when I played this game. And you 11-year-olds are still playing? I was actually pretty pleased. I was like, damn, bro. Maybe the world isn't too bad after all. Alright, we're going to use a blending layer. Oh, did I mess something up? I did. I did, in fact, mess something up. We have to make a new layer. Oh, I don't think I've ever gone to a midnight premiere as a teen. I did grow up with a movie theater like a few blocks from where I lived though, so... Not a few blocks, a drive, but I used to go to the movie theater all the time as a kid. Alright, this is what we want. See that glowy? I don't know how to paint that, unfortunately. What we can do is we can do soft light. Maybe lumosity. Color dodge. I don't remember, to be quite frank. If we merge this down, is it going to mess with it? Yeah, it is. So, I don't know if the color dodge is working. Yeah, so each of these has like a specific mathematical calculation it's performing with the colors beneath it, because this is all RGB, right? Red, green, blue. So each of these pixels that's a color has a value, and the value translates to a mathematical value, both in terms of hue, brightness, saturation. And what these different layers do is they change the interaction type between the mathematical values at the top layer and the bottom layer. Whereas normally you're just layering colors on top of other colors that then go on top without any sort of calculations. What the layers all do, these layer masks, I actually don't know what these are called. Saturation, overlay, multiply, and luminosity. These are all just different ways to calculate a new color based on what's above and what's below. I know that overlay, I know what overlay does pretty well, because overlay, if you have 50%, it doesn't change the value at all. If you have 0% value, aka black, it dramatically increases the saturation and also changes the brightness. Whereas if you have something that's 100% like white, it also cranks up the saturation and then cranks up the brightness. Whereas multiply just decreases the brightness. What I think color dodge does, color dodge also increases brightness, but in a different way. Like, see how this is making it almost red and yellow? I don't really know how color dodge works. I just know it really cranks up saturation. There's probably a YouTube video online about like what all this does. Yeah, that's what I do. I just click the options till it looks good. So true. Let's merge. Actually, it doesn't look too bad merged. It just looks too white. You know what? Let's just start adding some more details. Like I said, I want to get this to a semi-finished state before... What is it doing now? Please stop. Freehand. There we go. Control C, Control V. Oh, oops. Control C, Control V. This is when the layers start getting messy, because everything just starts getting jumbled together. Perspective warp. I have to remember it's already in a certain perspective. So honestly, what I might do is I might do this, and then if there's an option to flip horizontal. Sorry, I don't sneeze very often. I don't know why I just sneezed. Alright, mirror horizontal, enter, Control T again, perspective warp. There we go. Now I just need to get it to the same size so it doesn't look funky. There we go. I'm gonna take the round window here. Oh wait. And just transfer it right here. Make it a little bigger. And then change the perspective on it. Okay. That's looking better. I do want like a long roof this way to like indicate that there is more space to the city. This roof goes at an angle this way with a bit of a darker color. My timer's gonna go off soon. Maybe I'll keep working on this tomorrow. There we go. I'm gonna block in a few of these real quick, just so it looks okay before the timer goes off. What else does it need? Maybe like a little... Oh boy. I'm zooming in far too much. Yeah. Okay. I promise I'm gonna be done soon. I'm gonna add like one more thing. And that is going to be reducing the opacity of that a little bit. Oh, oops. You know what? That actually looks okay. We're gonna grab this new layer and then add a glow. Nice glow. That's not saturated enough. And then maybe more of like a burn. Not erase. Not divide. I'm doing the thing right now. Oh, color dodge does work a little bit. I kind of want it to go out more to here though. Like so. Also maybe a bit of a blue. Or... Oh, it froze again. I don't know why Krita's been freezing so much on me. If anybody knows how to use Krita, please explain to me how that... Why it's freezing. 'Cause I don't know, man. And then I think I'm gonna do this. It's so small. Kind of a blue. Too bright though, wow. I really collapsed all my values on this. Alright. I'm gonna call that for today and work on it maybe a little bit more tomorrow. That was a quick 40-minute painting, everyone. If you have any questions, I'll wait for those to pop in, but then I'm gonna have to go and get to work. It's really messy. It's really messy. But it's a good start. It's a good basis for the rest of the composition. Honestly, what we could do is we could shrink this and then in the background make like a city right there. I know. Stay hydrated, definitely, and get sleep. I'm gonna try and stream again tomorrow. I have been waking up later, so it's been later, but I'm gonna try and get it back to 6:30. And next week I am going to Italy, so I probably won't stream unless I can figure out a setup there. But even then, I doubt the internet's gonna be fast enough at the Airbnbs. Otherwise, maybe I'll just do it on my phone. But alright. I hope you all have a good day. Remember to get some sun. With sunscreen on, of course. And drink water. Alright. Peace out, everybody. Have a good day.